You'd be forgiven for thinking that I'm in a jungle right now.
This is in fact my back garden. It's a disaster. It hasn't been touched in probably a couple of years, as I haven't touched it as long as I've had the keys to this place. And previously the house was empty for a while, so I believe the garden probably wasn't touched. Now, this is the first time I have ever used a strimmer in my life, so please don't judge me too harshly. It's very heavy, my arms are really sore after that, but I'm glad that now my garden is slightly less feral looking. It looks a bit like someone cares about it now.
And now for the moment I found my missing rake. I knew I had one, previous owners had left one behind, but could I find it? But oh, what's that? The missing rake. Thank God.
I don't think the lawn is in particularly good condition because the grass was so long, but maybe it'll come back, who knows. I'm not very green fingered at all, so I've probably made a bit of a mess of this. I definitely made a total mess of the edging, so I got maybe a metre done and then I just gave up. I'll get to it another time. Or I don't know, I'll go and learn how to garden, because I clearly need to. Yesterday was my birthday and I've just been and bought myself a present, and I've really pushed the boat out this year. I'll show you what I got. A 220 litre compost bin. Because what else would a 25-year-old girl buy herself for her birthday?
I absolutely refuse to give the council even more money just for a sticker for my brown bin, so compost bin it is. Hopefully in a couple of years' time I'll have some nice compost I can use to grow some stuff, like strawberries for example.
But of course the key to a good compost is having a decent mixture of stuff, which I don't have at the moment. Just grass isn't going to cut it, pun not intended. But there's plenty of bushes and trees up the back of the garden, so when the leaves fall off of there, they'll get chucked straight in the compost bin, along with various other bits and bobs, food waste, all the other stuff you're supposed to put in a compost bin. And yeah, hopefully it will eventually fuel some strawberries for me in a couple of years' time once Project Garden commences, which won't be until Project House is just about complete. We'll see how we go on. But now for an update on the roof situation. Let's go and take a look. Unfortunately, I had to cut the whole thing open pretty much. All the way along the ridge, end to end, is now completely exposed. So first things first, get the multi-tool out and cut all the way along from end to end. I couldn't decide if it was condensation or maybe a leak, but it turns out it's probably both. So over one half, right above the hatch, is all, when I say excessive condensation, I mean excessive condensation. It was absolutely soaked, actually dripping. It dripped onto the floor, so that definitely had to come down. And over the other half, The sacking is all wet, so it looks as if moisture is indeed getting in from outside. So half and half. But I mean, you couldn't write it, but of course, what else would it be in my project house? Of course, it would be both things. Obviously, the condensation was the worst over the hatch, like I just said, but it's way worse above the ceiling than it was below. So of course, you saw these huge big mouldy patches, but it was starting to sort of seep along. It was getting further and further along in both directions, and the plasterboard was all black. But as you can see, it was totally fine on the front. But until you rip it down, you don't really know, do you? And with that, I now have a huge hole in the ceiling. It's emotional damage, to say the least. But it's drying out. I've had the dehumidifier up there a couple of times just to get rid of any excess moisture. It's definitely worked. The beam right across the middle was visibly soaked, so it's now dry, and the sarking, it doesn't look too bad. We've had heavy rain the past couple of days, conveniently when I'm off work, but it doesn't seem to have done any particular damage, so hopefully it stays that way, and hopefully I can get the place better ventilated, sort out the roof if there's an issue with that, and hopefully get this huge big gaping hole covered over again eventually. Of course, I'd hoped that it would all be fine, but that just isn't the reality of renovating a house that's 113 years old. So, yeah, it happens. It is all a bit of a mess, but what can you do? If you don't laugh, you'll cry. That's all for this week. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep your eyes peeled for the next one.